So, Rona, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Rana. Um, I have been living in Mumbai for the last 20 years. I have done my schooling from ICSC board and my 12th from Maharashtra board. After that, I did my graduation from Mumbai itself in electronics and telecommunication at Sardar Patel Institute of Technology, Mumbai. After that, I did a 6 month internship during my college at JP Morgan and Chase for automation. Ever since that, I've been working at my current firm, which is an investment bank where I'm responsible for day to day reporting tasks. I have been working there for the last 2.5 years. Besides that, I have played an active part in my college in volunteering activities such as teaching students spoken English. And even in my organization, I continue to take part in it and proactively engage in CSR activities where we do things like make presentations or charts or best out of waste material for kids. Other than that, my hobbies include swimming and reading fantasy literature.
You said your hobby is swimming. Who is your favorite swimming athlete?
So recently we had Laurie Knudsen who had broken the record in the Olympics last year and won some 16 medals in total. I think that she is an inspiration because of how well she does in long form swimming, which is basically for 400 meters, and also she is second at number behind Michael Phelps, who is known as the legend in the field of swimming.
So, why MBA now?
So, coming from an engineering background, I think I have always possessed good analytical and logical skills. We have been taught to always break down things into smaller tasks and then treat everything as a module and solve it. I have realized how important this skill is as I've moved across internships and my jobs and different projects in my job as well. But having worked there for so long now, I have come to the realization that it is not only technical skills that make you go forward. You need to have a holistic view of how the business works and also how important it is to have a long term picture in mind and some sort of financial insights into markets as well is of necessity. Other than that, I believe that the peer to peer learning that MBA provides is also of utmost importance, especially given the diverse group of people that come and the cohort that is present at this MBA college. I think that is something that I need to uh, drive my journey forward in my corporate career.
So, do you think being an engineer gives you an edge over other candidates for an MBA?
I think everyone who comes from a from some sort of background has different set of skill sets. I think that from the perspective that I'm looking to work forward, which is make efficient and new solutions while keeping the revenue in mind. I think for that engineering is a very valuable skill set.
All right. Any current affairs you've been following
Yeah, a couple
internationally?
of yeah, a couple of them. I think recently there has been like Mr. Donald Trump, President of United States, has said that Ukraine is not being democratic right now because current president of Ukraine, which is Mr. Zelensky, he is saying that elections cannot be held because this is wartime, and the president of United States thinks that that is not an excuse for not holding elections, and it for any democratic country the most important thing is to hold elections. So he's not very happy with how the things are turning out in Ukraine currently.
What are your views on the situation?
Mhm. I think that the war has been going on for a very long time. And right now, everyone's main point of action should be to save human lives and avoid any further damage than what has already been done. So, Russia, Ukraine, and US, all of them should, going forward, try and come to an uh, agreement which saves the lives of civilians and the human lives, most importantly.
How does this war affect India?
So I think the war has been affecting India for quite some time, as in with respect to oil prices. There were some articles that had said that, like people in the NATO, most of the countries had said that it won't take oil from Russia, or it won't take as much as it used to, because they were not happy with what Russia was doing in Ukraine. So that gave India an opportunity to, take oil from Russia, and then India was importing the same oil, exporting the same oil outside. So that was one benefit that India had because of this war.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years and the next 20 years?
So in the next 5 years, I would hope to be in a place where I am the head of some small asset class or a product group. And I would like to be mentoring new talent that has come in and have some expertise in my field of area. 20 years down the line, I hope to be involved in actual policies at a company level, and how the like the business is being done and all of those things. So I would like to be involved in the management side of the business 20 years down the line.
What is one big life lesson you've learned in the past year or something?
In the past year, I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is the importance of transparency and resilience. Anytime a mistake is made, for example, in my case, there was something at work that wasn't done right. So pointing it out early on, and keeping my managers involved and the concerned parties involved in it, like we could mitigate the any potential issues that could have caused if the issue had stayed hidden. So I made a mistake, I owned up to it, and that act of transparency actually, people gained a lot of trust in me, and I saw firsthand how that shapes it up. And post that, like my approach to, list down the causes as to why this issue happened in the first place and how we can prevent it in future, that resilience was something that was also appreciated.
As a manager, if you face this situation, would you tell the desk worker who's made this mistake? Would you blame it on him, or would you own it up on yourself?
I think it's important to not to blame, but I think it's important to know that why the issue happened, and was it an actual oversight, or was it slacking on their part, or whatever it was. Like maybe they were overloaded that day and had a lot of work, or maybe it was legacy system. There can be a lot of reasons for an issue happening, and we have to understand that when we do things at such a large scale, human errors are bound to happen. I think my approach would be to first understand the root cause, and then to try and brainstorm fixes that would help in the long term.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Uh, I would say that I'm trustworthy, I am empathetic, and that I lead by conviction.
Okay, thank you.
Ronak, you can
I'm
also
done.
ask questions to Gurkirat.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll start now. Um, okay. Hi, Gurkirat. Can you please tell me about yourself?
Hi, good evening. I'm Gurkeet Singh. I've been living in Mumbai for the past 20 years. I did my schooling from an ICSE board where I secured a 92.5% in my grade 10th examination. I did my secondary higher education from Maharashtra board where I scored a 86.83 in the pandemic year. Then I was also always fascinated by tech a bit in the start and enjoyed working on computers and building stuff on my family computer as well. So I ventured out into the IT domain for my undergraduation degree, BTech degree from NMIMS MPSTME, where I learned a big deal of where I learned a lot, whether it was anything related to my education or life. I worked with my friends on different projects, pulled all nighters, had a lot of fun, and learned something side by side, which really made the journey very fun for me. um, I've always been somebody who loves playing a sport or working out. Hence, I always try to put that in my day because I believe that helps me with my that helps me with keeping myself calm and focused. And I feel a lot of life is like that only, where you fall and get up and move again, which has taught me a big deal. My father works in an electrical switchgear company where he is a vice president. My mom is an engineering graduate turned homemaker. So my parents have also always taught me about how important education is and how it can change lives, and I'm grateful for that. And right now I'm doing an internship at Career Corps, which is industry, which is a company which helps in building project models for other outsourcing organizations, where I am an active web developer for them at this point.
Okay. So you mentioned that you liked building stuff on your computer at a young age. Can you give an example of what you used to do?
Um, those stuffs range from it ranges in varying activities. For example, it started with playing this game when I was very small, which helped me like stack Legos basically on a tower, and those Legos had to be stacked in a way that you cannot keep a lighter one down than a heavier one, which helped me in like those analytical skills where I used to build a tower in that sense. And then I also built a project in my seventh standard computer science class, which was related to Excel, where I scraped data for an Excel data sheet, and it's not a big deal now, obviously, but the seventh standard me really enjoyed that part. And I was always you help I always liked going to Safari, the web browser, inspecting and seeing how the website works and how you can change the. I used to change the elements for myself to make it look more fun, and then I realized how dynamic this is and how vast it is, which made me take this in. And as a reason, I also took my elective for ninth and 10th computer science, as well as my 11th and 12th elective in computer science.
Uh, okay. So which is your favorite language now then in computer science?
It would be Java.
Okay. So how do you what do you think are the advantages of C++ over Java since they are both object oriented programming languages?
C plus advantages of C plus plus over Java or Java over C
Yeah,
plus
like
plus.
if someone is picking C++ over Java, why would they choose it since both of them follow an object oriented programming approach,
Yeah,
right?
that is right. Both of them follow an object-oriented programming, whereas C follows a procedure-oriented programming language. But yeah, as C++ is more a low-level memory one, where you can work with low-level memory pointers, so it can optimize performance when your devices cannot keep up with Java. Java is more like heavy in layman language to run on. And Java, for executing Java programs, you need the virtual machine toolkit with it. While C++, you do not need that. It can work on any OS you can download. And yeah, and C plus plus.
So I would
Yeah,
say that Java is platform neutral, right?
yeah.
And C++ is not. Is that correct?
No, what are you saying? Java is.
Platform neutral.
What do you mean by platform neutral exactly?
So it runs on any like Java has an inbuilt system that lets it be
Yeah.
compatible to
In
any
that sense,
platform,
yes.
right?
In that sense, yes.
In C++, you need to have a certain prerequisites, and
Yeah.
depending
C
on if you're
plus
using
is
Linux or
Yeah, it needs to be run on
yes.
Like
So
Linux or Mac
if
or
C++
something like that.
is not platform independent as well, then you're saying that the only case that a person would prefer C++ is if their machine cannot handle Java. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is one of the big factors. Yes, and
Okay.
as I said, it also helps in low-level programming.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So, what did you do for your final year project?
My final year project was an AI based nutrition and fitness. As I mentioned earlier, also I have the interest in this health and fitness field throughout my life for a very long time, which is not a part of my life at this point. It's a lifestyle at this point. So I wanted to work with something that I really had work on a cause which I really enjoyed and thought can make an impact. So I made an AI powered nutrition and fitness tracker called Trainer, which basically takes in users biome, which is a dual login setup system where a user and a let's suppose we were the future plan was to tie up with gyms as well. So the gyms can also log in at the same point, and you can ask your the AI basic nutrition questions, and which can answer you on that point. And and you must be wondering there are a lot of apps available like that. But the unique difference what we had was a lot of these apps only consider your height and weight as metrics, and not the very important point of body fat. They would give the same plan to a 70 kg person who's, let's suppose, overweight with a 70 kg person with a lot of fat, but a person with 70 kg who's muscular would not need the same plan. So we differentiated on that factor, along with having a dual setup for gyms where they could maintain their inventory, contact customers, and offer newsletters.
Okay, so were you all storing any data that you
Yeah,
would
so
use or
basically,
learn?
yeah, since this is a very since this is a very private and sensitive data where we are taking the health parametrics from our user, so we needed to be very secure. Hence, we used an SHA-32 encryption model, and even on the backend database, the users, the us as the database owners, could not see the passwords and usernames as they were encrypted, and nobody could know that. And since the input advice also which we were giving through our AI based
No, no,
chatbot
sorry
is
to
very.
cut you off. I
Yes.
wasn't asking that. I was asking that how was your system learning? Like if I tell you it's 8% body fat versus 16%
No, these were
body fat,
predefined
you said it's
parametrics.
an
Predefined
AI. No, no,
parametrics.
yeah, but you said it's an AI. So was it learning on the go? How was that system working in your project?
It was not a dynamic based AI. It was an AI which was fed a data set and outputs were given on that out basis. As I coming to
So
that, since this is a very critical subject, we could not give false information. So we had a data set which was trained and approved by a dietitian, which we have in writing as well, and only those answers were provided because we wanted, if let's say we wanted to give less answers but correct answers.
okay, I understand that, but then do you think it is right to call it an AI app? Isn't it just a database of already existing information that you are
No,
storing
but
and giving to the
it was also
users?
integrated with the Chat GPT 4, so it gave those generic answers based on AI learning model only, which was real time.
So, how would you decide where you are giving generic answers and where are you actually taking the help of your dietitian? I mean, if you have a
When
dietitian who's giving you information, why wouldn't you use that? Why would you go for
no, the
something like
dietitian did not give us
ChatGPT?
information. They approved the information which the data was working on. And the AI bot gave answers for generic information where it was not user based. Wherever the user's metrics were considered, the AI bot did not give answers. Then the answers were given from the data set.
Can you give an example?
Let's suppose one particular user has entered their weight, height, and those metrics for their body fat percentage,
Mm-hmm.
and they're asking about they're asking, let's suppose they ask, would this meal, suppose, yeah, so let's suppose they're given these factors, and we also ask them about their previous health conditions, and if there was any condition, then we considered, then since that was a critical topic, we only took queries for that through our data set. And hence, if they ask something, can I eat this or can I not eat that, then those answers were not given for those questions, since those could be generic. But basic exercises ask like, can you give me a 5 day workout plan? Those were generics.
Okay, okay, okay. I understand. But uh, was it flagged? What answer is AI based and what is trainer approved? Like
Was it?
when the answer was given, as in for a user to know if
No, we
they're
didn't mention that. No,
okay,
we didn't
okay,
mention
got
that.
it, got it. Okay, thank you. So you mentioned you like fitness and exercising and all of that, right?
Yes.
Yes. How often do you exercise?
I follow a 4 week workout at my gym, and
Okay.
where I work out 4 days a week in the gym to maintain my body. I maintain my body structure and health fitness wise. And apart from that, I take part in occasionally running, let's say running a 3K or a 5K when I'm not preparing for a marathon. But if I'm preparing, that goes up to 7K, 8K for a 10K run. And I also love playing sports, as sports is something which is a team based game, and which really tells you that you cannot move alone. You can play the best game out there possible, but if your team does not support you or you don't have your team support, you can never win the game. So I do love playing sports as well. I've played football for my school team also, where I was a vice captain, and we won a few cups as well. And my college, I could not play due to a leg injury in the college, but I still actively participate in private tournaments where I've been the captain as well. And I play as a goalkeeper and work towards and win a lot of matches.
Okay. Okay. And what is the most recent news, economic news that you have read upon?
Uh, The most recent economic news I would have read upon would be this, where the is it like India based or international?
Anything is fine. Anything is fine.
Yeah, so the U.S. Senate conducted a session to advance the Republican budget, but there was a lot of opposition from the Democrats on that, and because of this, the administration also said that they wanted to be done fast and required for Congress support, as well as there was a feud over the Sunita Williams delayed return from space, where they were talking about where they were deciding was the economic factor worth her return or how much time should we wait.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Do you know the current repo rate by RBI?
I think the current repo rate is around 5 to 6%. I think I'm not
Uh,
sure.
okay. Okay. And thank you. That's it.
Gurkirat, you can continue asking questions to Ronak.
No, sir, I'm done. I mean, I don't have any other questions.
As of now, she has an edge over you. Ronak, you have any more questions to ask Gurkirat?
No, sir. I think I can ask one or two about internship, but I think yeah, that will be it. I think rest all I
Ask something from
answered.
BTech course.
Okay, sure. What is the difference between OSI and TCP/IP model?
Difference between OSI and TCP/IP model.
TCP/IP model and the OSI model. What is the difference between the two?
OSI model is a theoretical model, and TCP/IP is a practical model which is used in real world basically. And like the OSI model has 7 layers: application, presentation, network, data, communication, transport, and soft service. Whereas the TCP/IP encapsulates these layers into only 4 layers. And it's the OSI model is usually used to teach children of the teach not children teach people about how the conceptualization works. But in the practical world, mostly the TCP/IP model is used as it's more abstract and easier to manage.
Okay. And what does the sessions layer do?
The sessions layer is in the TCP/IP model. It's merged with the application layer, so it's helped in the application software part, where how the application works and how the application works and application interface works. That part, and it manages the sessions between applications. Where let's suppose the session one user has logged into an website or something, and he has a session allocated. So the session layer helps in that allocation. If it's time run out, it's if the time runs out for him, it's on like it can notify it and that part.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Mm, Um,
Gurkirat, you asked some questions from the BTech syllabus to Ronak.
I don't know the syllabus.
You don't know anything common between your syllabus
No,
and her
the
syllabus.
I
the
think
branch was
the
different.
CS2 part will be common, the AND gate, NOR gates, and all of that.
Acha, what does a JK flip flop do?
Uh, a JK flip flop in general, I think, is a memory latch flip flop, wherein in the truth table, if you have both J and K set to 1 and 1, it gives you a race around condition. But other than that, it gives you output for 0, 0, 0, 1 and 1, 0. And as any other flip flop, it acts like a memory latch, and it's used in places where the result needs to be stored for next operation.
Is a JK flip flop better or an SR flip flop better or vice versa? Or what are the cases for both?
I think that the with SR flip flop there is a condition called a toggle condition. So sorry, SR flip flop has a race around condition, which is why it can't be used everywhere. And with JK, it has a toggle condition, which is why it can't be used everywhere. But at this moment, I'm unable to recollect where each of them are used.
So you don't know any real life example of JK flip flop?
Uh, Real life example. I think I don't know specifically for JK, but generally flip flops are used wherever we have any need for any sort of calculation in the binary language. So be it our mux, demux, which is multiplexer, demultiplexer, or decoder, encoder, or counters, all of these places flip flops in general are used. Depending on the use, it can be SR or JK, but individually for JK, I can't recollect right now.
Okay, thank you.
Ronak, how would you rate Gurkirat? Would you select him or not select him, and what is the basis?
Sir, I think that the answers and everything was fine, and like the selection should be okay. The only thing I felt was that the intro went on too long. Like why he likes exercising or fitness need not have been mentioned in the intro, or even why he selected IT. I felt like that part was a bit long.
Hmm.
Um,
I didn't mention.
but
Carry on.
Uh, yeah, but other than that, I think like the academic answers and the app, like I tried to, ask a lot of questions on the final year project, but he was able to defend it. And in the end, like when he hadn't done one thing, he like said that he didn't do it. So it came across as, like genuine. So I think that all of the other parts were fine. Maybe the news part, I feel like the economic news was not very economic in nature. I mean, the Senate and all like probably is a little far fetched for an economic news, but yeah, I think other than these 2 points, everything else was fine.
What about Ronak, Gurkirat?
Yes, sir, it was good. I mean, I feel like there was all answers were there only, and yeah, I feel yeah that was good.
I think Gurkirat, you were just jumping onto the questions before the question was ending, huh? That is
Mm,
something you have to avoid. You
yes,
have to
sir.
listen to the question patiently. That is what I've been telling you. That listen to the question carefully and then answer it. And you are cutting off the interviewer a lot, especially when she's asking you anything, any follow-up questions. You seem to be assuming the question. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But it's quite okay. Hello.
Sorry, sir, your voice is breaking
Yeah,
up.
your voice broke.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think basically you have to be a little patient with you. Listen to the
Yeah, yeah.
interview.
That
But
part was that
uh,
part I heard.
mm, apart from that, I think both of you are doing quite okay. Just don't get nervous. Read about the current affairs little more. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll have one more session maybe on Monday.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Any questions you have?
Uh,
Mm,
Yeah, I think so. Like from what I have been reading, NM is a lot like they're asking just like it's because it's part AI, it's just taking your SOP and asking questions based on that.
Hmm.
So like in case like since it's AI, like if it's a very like if it's a very generic question, suppose that I don't know the answer to, like if it brings up some current affair that I haven't read of, and it's not an interviewer either that I can, discuss or like uh put forth like what I know or something. So in that case, should I just say I don't know? Can we have another
So
question or something like that?
when you give the answer, because as far as I know, there is an observer also.
Okay, okay.
So when you don't know the answer at all, then you say that I don't know. If you know 20,
Okay.
30% of the answer, then qualify that you know a little bit about the answer and you'd like to attempt it.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
That should be fine.
Okay.
Your Shillong
Okay.
interview is over, Rana.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is over. I think like I spoke to you after that. They mainly asked me like some questions from academics, gave a puzzle, and they were asking like they didn't ask me tell me about yourself, why MBA or anything like that. The first thing they asked me was like you've been working for 2 years, so what is it that you do? So I gave them a brief intro to what I do, and then they asked one or two questions like, "What's your greatest learning and all, and what do you like, and how big your team is?" So I answered all of that, and then after that they asked me some current affairs, basically about Trump pulling out of WHO and India's climate performance index. So Trump pulling out of WHO, they also asked me to sort of analyze why he did it and why do we need WHO in the first place. And for climate performance index, I didn't know India's exact rank, so I said that I don't know the exact rank, but I did mention some steps that India is taking to become more climate conscious. Like they have a target to be carbon neutral by 2070 and solar power and all. So I mentioned those targets that India has right now, but I told them that I don't know the exact index ranking. And after that, they asked me a little bit about statistics, like the distribution curve and all. They gave me one puzzle, but that unfortunately I wasn't able to solve. And after that, they asked me some academic questions about transistors and all of that. They weren't very high level questions, so I answered all of those. And yeah, that was it mainly.
How long did it last?
Around 20 minutes along with the extempore.
Hmm. चलो ठीक है. Let's do another interview on Monday.
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.